Daf Yomi, Tractate Sanhedrin, page 72b. We were in the middle of a question on the bottom of 72a, where there was a contradiction between two brises. One said that in an undetermined case, one brise suggested that if a person knew the burglar's intentions and he wasn't lethal, or it wasn't dangerous, he shouldn't kill him. And the second brise indicates that in such a case it would be permitted to kill the burglar. So the Gemara says lo kashya, it's not difficult. Now we're on top of 72b right now with the word kan. Kan be'av al haben, kan be'ben al ha'av. Here, when the Braita teaches that if one is unsure about the burglar's intentions, it's prohibited to kill him, is referring to a father who comes to rob his son. A father has a great compassion for his son, and therefore it may be presumed that he will not kill his son if he resists. Accordingly, the son is prohibited, but the father is stealing from his son. So, but anyway, I guess he won't kill him, is what they're saying here. Accordingly, the son is prohibited from killing his father unless he knows for certain that the father has intention of killing him. Where the Braita teaches that if one is unsure about the burglar's intentions, it is permitted for him to kill him. It is referring to a son who comes to rob his father. Since the son has less compassion for his father, it may be presumed that he would be ready to kill his father if he resists. Therefore, the father is permitted to kill his son unless he knows for certain that his son would never kill him. Okay? Amarav kodasi anavi machtarta katlina le. The barber of Chanina bar Shela, my timer. Ilim mishum tzadiku hakaati b'mechtarta el mishum dekam lekim le ligave b'nachmanai karachem avaraben. Rav says, with regard to anyone who breaks into my house, I would kill him, as I would presume that he is ready to kill me, except for Rav Chanina bar Shela, whom I would not kill. The Gemara asks, what is the reason that Rav excludes Rav Chanina bar Shela? Well, Rav Chanina bar Shela would never break into his house. But anyway, okay, that's a moot point anyway. If we say that Rav trusts him because he's a righteous person, this is difficult, as the case is one where he broke into his house. It indicates that he's not a righteous person. Rather, it is because he would say, I am certain that he would have mercy upon me, just like a father would have mercy on a son. Okay. Tanu Rabbanan Damim Loi B'Mechor B'Mishabis Ein Damim B'Mechor B'Mishabis. The sages taught in a Braita, if the sun has risen upon him, there shall be blood shed on his account. Exodus 22, verse 2, both during the week and on Shabbat. If a burglar is found breaking in, there shall not be blood shed on his account. Exodus 22, verse 1, both during the week and on Shabbat. Itzrich. So gedeichen mina wieder havi haru gebes din de bishavas lo kadlinan kamash milan de kadlinan. Ela damim lo b'mechol b'shabbos hashta b'chol lo kadlinan le Shabbos mibayeh. The Gemara clarifies this Braita. Granted, that with regard to there shall not be blood shed on his account, it was necessary to say that this applies both during the week and on Shabbat, as it might enter your mind to say, and this is just as it is in the case of those who are executed by the court, who are not executed on Shabbat. Therefore, the Braita teaches us that the burglar may be slain in self-defense even on Shabbat. But with regard to there shall be blood shed on his account, the statement that this applies both during the week and on Shabbat is puzzling. Now, if on a weekday he may not be slain, is it necessary to say that he may not be slain on Shabbat? Rav Sheshet lo nitzrucha el lefakeach alav es hagah. Rav Sheshet says this ruling is necessary only to teach that if a building collapsed on the burglar on Shabbat, one is obligated to clear the pile of stones from on top of him and perform any action necessary to rescue him, even if it involves the desecration of Shabbat. One does not say that while he is not permitted to actively kill him, he is also not obligated to save him. Tanu Abanan v'huka b'chol adam emeis b'chol misa she'ata yachol hamito. Bishno v'huka b'chol adam mitzrich so that mina bal abayis udikim leho. The ain adam ma'amid atzmo ram moinoi aval acher lo. Concerning the verse that states, if a burglar is found breaking in and is smitten and dies, there shall not be blood shed on his account. Exodus 22 verse 1. The sage is found upright and is smitten by any person who strikes him and dies by any means of death, by which you can put him to death. The Gemara clarifies this brayta granted. With regard to the words and is smitten, it was necessary to say that he may be struck by any person, as it might enter your mind to say that it is only the owner of the house whom the burglar is certain will resist him, because there is a presumption that a person does not restrain himself when faced with losing his money, and therefore it is only the homeowner's life that is in danger from the burglar. But as for another person, the burglar is not sure that he will try to stop him, and therefore the other person may not kill him, since the burglar did not come with the intention of killing him. Kamash Milan, deroidefu, afilu acher nami, ela v'meis b'chol misav shatayachal misav lamali. Therefore, the Brayta teaches us that this burglar is considered a pursuer, as a rodef, and he is subject to the same halacha as anyone who pursues another in order to kill him. Namely, that anyone may kill the pursuer in order to rescue the one being pursued. Therefore, even another person is permitted to kill the burglar in order to save the homeowner. But that which the Brayta teaches, that the words and dies teach that he may be slain by any means of death by which you can put him to death. Why do I need this? The Tanya, most you must hamaker rotzeachu. Ein liela b'misamura bo. Uminayin she'im yeta yechol hamisoi b'misam aksu b'boi she'ata reshai la v'si b'chol misa she'ata yechol hamisoi tamaloi most you must b'chol b'chol. The Gemara clarifies the difficulty. This can be derived from the halacha governing a murder, as it is taught in Brayta. The verse with regard to a murder states that he that smote him shall be put to death for his murder. Numbers 35:21. I have derived only that the murder is put to death with the mode of execution stated concerning him, namely killing by decapitation. From where do I derive that you cannot put him to death with the mode of execution written concerning him? For example, if he is escaping, that you can put him to death with any mode of execution with which you can put him to death. You could shoot him with a gun, you could throw something at him, you could take a lasso him, whatever way. Somehow hang him, I don't know. The verse states, he that smote him shall be put to death. The doubled verb teaching that he is put to death. In any case, by any mode of execution, why not derive the halacha of a burglar from the halacha of a murderer? Shani Hasam Damer Kram, if you want to reject those pieces. There it is different, as the verse explicitly states, Mot Yumat, which serves to include all modes of execution. Venigmar Mine, Mishum Deha Rotzeach, V'gol Hadam, Shnei Ksuvim V'yachad, V'kol Shnei Ksuvim V'yachad, Imalavin. The Gemara asks, but why not learn it from a principle that can be applied to all people who may be put to death? The Gemara rejects this reasoning. This case, that does not serve as a source for the principle, because the halachot of a murderer and of a blood redeemer, meaning a relative of one who was killed, is allowed to kill the relative's killer. See Makot 11b. Are two verses that come as one, and the two verses that come as one do not teach a principle. In other words, a halacha is stated with regard to two specific cases in the Torah. The halacha is understood to apply only to those cases. Had the halacha applied to all other relevant cases as well, it would have not been necessary for the Torah to teach it twice. Therefore, the Brayta had to teach us that this halacha also applies to a burglar who breaks into a person's house. And I think there's a significant amount left Therefore, we're going to start. We'll do part 2.